what we did last session well enough to recap it for a previously on Dungeons and Dragons.
Meg looks like
Pretty much
she's
looking at it, I
eager.
think.
Meg was just unmuting the stream.
Oh, great. So we have a lot of this. Dragons.
No, I just put
So-
the Roll20 screen up, so they weren't seeing that either. They
Oh,
were
sweet.
seeing our character backstories. Okay,
Hi.
I do remember there was the airship, and I killed Hoppy unintentionally, but we brought him back to life, and we basically cut the Achilles tendons of the giant monster chaos beast, and he fell down, and then we killed his torso, and then we killed his head, which healed from the bugs up above. They were like channeling energy to him from the
Sacrificing
people.
animal.
Yes, the people that they had stolen from the city. And then Amon drank the potion that was supposed to protect us from getting the chaos brand. So he had to be the one to get the killing shot, and mushrooms grew all over his arm.
It took him forever.
And
he
we
missed,
got the
like,
killing
7
shot.
times in a row.
There may have been a few additional rounds, and some assistance with Renan giving him the extra dice to go with his rolls, and that bar just wasn't moving fast enough, and there was always like these lingering hit points. But we did it, and then the Chaos brand hit him where the mushrooms were. All the mushrooms fell off, and we rejoiced.
And they
We
killed
leveled
Mini
up.
Me.
That's right. That's right.
Mini Mushroom Me.
It turned into a mini mushroom Amon, and that's what killed. That's what died. It went.
Mushroom.
Had like 1 second of living human sentience.
I'm alive!
And
I'm
dead.
alive! That's exactly what happened.
It's such a
Guys,
cruel,
what's
cruel
going on
world.
there?
Mhm. But we were successfully able to revive Hoppy. He did tons of damage. He did very well. I think Amon should get the inspiration because he got the killing blow on and didn't die or get chaos branded, so we don't have to sacrifice anybody to Mother Marwa.
On the other hand, Hoppy did his
Inspiration
job
for not dying.
incredibly well.
Hoppy did incredibly well. We used
Like at
dying.
some point in the near future, we may have to start like focusing on the distinction between being knocked out of the fight and actually being killed, because now we're fighting progressively more dangerous things. Hoppy didn't die; he was just technically rendered unconscious.
And he had one.
We actually have spells
death
now that
save.
reverse like death in combat. So
And I think at one point I took your healing potion and poured it down your throat, so I unchecked it in your inventory. You don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
I said you just put the whole glass vial in his mouth and then uppercut him, but
No, that's not what happened.
It's pretty close though.
all right, yeah. I mean, I think that's pretty much exactly what we did last session. The Titan Kepra had made it very, very close to the headwaters of the Atairu, which means you guys have backtracked quite a good ways in pursuit of him on the Pride of Calm, the balloon airship that the King of Coins' son stole to help you guys pursue the Titan. So I think we stopped like literally as soon as the kill shot happened.
Yeah.
I told you guys we would level up and pick up and deal with any of the aftermath stuff now. So I don't remember exactly what how we ended it, and I didn't get a chance to rewatch a stream. So boom, Titan falls over dead. We get Hoppy up. Mushroom Man is completely destroyed and demolished. Everybody's still heavily breathing. Open wound still bleeding.
Hoppy and I climbed up into the ship.
Oh, I do remember that. Yep.
Yep. So that
When
we would
I-
all be there together.
When I leveled up, it automatically gave me a long rest. Do you want me to roll it back? I had 6 hit.
No, I don't think we will get into a. Well, and you guys would have to want to get into a combat, I think, before you would have the opportunity to rest anyway. So I think it's fine. Plus, I think we also discussed that leveling up is going to happen video game style in the campaign, where if I give you a milestone between 2 fights, then it's just
You get all your stuff back.
God of War ducks around the corner, levels up, and comes back at full health with New
So
adventure.
I'm gonna go ahead and level Renin and put stuff where I feel like I'd want to put it. So
Um, if whoever has her sheet up, did she level up?
no,
Okay.
she's level 9.
He gets an ability score bump at 10. Rogue's get a fun little bonus there. I was curious if she was going to take a feat or a bump. Still TBD.
I'll give her a foot because make her look freakier.
Like I leveled up for you. I felt like you wanted strength.
Hmm. Definitely.
You're
Charisma.
pretty
But
weak.
now it's a 10. All right. So the Titan has fallen. Once the head is destroyed, the swarms dissipate. The largest of the beetles begin to dig subterranean burrows and bury themselves deep in the sand and the mud. And the smaller insects that had just kind of coalesced into those blot out the sun gray clouds just disperse and go back to wherever they were summoned from initially. They were adhering to some kind of unconscious command that the Kepra mind beetle was emanating. But now that it's dead, the larger summoned ones burrow into hibernation, and the smaller ones just kind of disperse into the horizon and fly away from you.
Can we fly over the areas where there are still people and collect them and bring them up onto the airship so that they can be returned to the city?
Yeah, collecting all the survivors puts you just at about the weight capacity of the airship, but you're able to get everybody on board.
Okay.
Whilst you fly over to the 2 platforms that have, we'll call them civilians, can I get perception rolls? I really only need like the highest, I suppose, but
That will not be from Oni.
I hate to ask like
I can-
everybody to throw dice for a thing, but
Perception?
yes,
Perception.
please.
Yep.
Sorry, now I'm looking at
Nice.
dishwashers because I have no focus.
That's okay.
Not dishwashers.
Wow,
Yeah,
we're blind.
Not a mon.
I got that eye.
our washing machine is trying to escape from the garage.
Mm.
The second one was Renin.
Nice.
I gotta remember to switch it.
My washing machine tried to escape once, but I told Megan she can't leave.
It's funny that you joke that I'm the one that does all of the cleaning and cooking because I
I know.
don't. We have a very backwards relationship. Our gender roles are reversed.
Oh, sorry, I'm on with the 26. Makes sense. You would be the one to see it with the very keen eye, bolstered by the Eye of Horus. As you guys are sort of zippering across the deepest parts of the canyon here to rescue the remaining survivors, you predictably notice that where the body was initially like grievously wounded, like where the Achilles tendon was severed and where the torso was removed from the bottom half, you predictably see large pools of gold in the running river. Like the first beast of chaos, Amit the Devourer,
Yes.
Kepra also seems to bleed blood or bleed gold. Like his
Yay!
internal workings seem to be powered exclusively by gold. But what's more is the beetle head initially sort of did like that spider thing, right, where it gets a little bit smaller and its legs sort of like now that there's no more height, hydraulic pressure in them, just kind of go upwards and curl on itself. And like you thought that's all it was, but you've kept an eye on it because you're the guy that had to make sure it was dead, and you're swearing that every time you peek at it, it has shrunk in size again and again and again until now that you've picked up the last bit of survivors, it doesn't even look like the same beetle that was there before. It looks like a small, almost statuesque version of itself, and there's a metallic glint that flashes off the sunlight that you know isn't normal. Not otherworldly, but not what you'd expect from the corpse of a beetle.
I'm just going to direct everyone's attention to what's happening.
Well,
Area to lick it.
we should go down. Do you want to take the beetle?
We're
with
probably
us?
going to have to send send some of these people home by foot if we're going to carry all that gold.
Well, if it
Eeny,
hardens,
meeny, miny, kick.
if it hardens into the ground, it's gonna have to be mined, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to have
Oh, that's what happened before.
Draco's Grotto
Oni's grotto.
people come. I love it. We'll just have new grottos everywhere. Yeah, we'll have to.
Take a little bit of it though. I mean,
Yeah, whatever we can take.
Yeah, I
the
think
best
last
we
time there was some on the surface. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then maybe what we can do is ask this kid, since he's kind of taken a liking to Renan, if he could bring some of our people back. We'll just have to tell the Prince of Coin that the gold is ours as a result of our taking him down. That the corpse and everything that came out of the corpse belongs to us after he gives us our 6,000 gold.
I'd like
Yeah, I
all
don't
the
know
money
how
plus your
well
money.
that's gonna go over.
Okay, then
This is
maybe
our
we can
gold.
maybe we can
Also, give us your
bargain
gold.
we can bargain with him to split the profit if he's willing to mine it.
Yeah, you
With
mine
our
it. We'll
team.
just take a little cut off the top.
Little taste.
Free money.
right?
So is anybody going to pick up the bug?
Yes, you're picking up the bug, and the rest of us can grab as much gold as we can carry just so that we have it on our person.
Is anybody staying in the ship, or is everybody descending to loot and plunder?
I'll stay in the ship and keep a lookout.
Have Sari stay with
I'll
you
plunder.
just in case.
Yeah.
No, have Ridden up there. 'Cause
There's no way you're keeping Renan away from gold.
that's true.
I mean, she's not going to be stealing it from someone, so.
Then again, she just said the bag of holding. Okay, she's coming with us.
Should we invite the people that are with us to also take some as so that they can rebuild their lives
Constellations.
when they get back?
Or have her pick it up for us because they're so the gratitude they have for saving their lives towards us.
That you guys can talk about that while you're downstairs rummaging through his prison pocket.
Corpses.
Um, digging through the corpse of Kepra, two things become apparent to you. First is that there was a lot of blood. You did a lot of debilitating strikes and deep wounds. The pace of this river has washed a lot of it downstream. You can see that beneath the surface of the water there's like gold flake, sort of like, a bottle of Goldschlager. There's just particulate of gold washing downstream consistently. Some of like heavier chunks have settled at the bottom in the sediment of the river, and like across any of the unsubmerged pieces of his body have now solidified gold coins, gold drops, bits on bobs all over his chest and upper torso, that you could harvest and collect here, no problem. But you can already see like the gold is flowing downstream. For as far as you can see, the sun glinting off the surface. Even in just the 2 minutes since you killed him, it's being carried downriver from the blimp, the airship above you. You can hear the king's son declare that this is, in his mind, the fulfillment of the prophecy. Kepra is supposed to be the physical embodiment of the cycle of death and rebirth. He says that you stopped him from killing everything, and now his life-giving blood will rain riches down to the poorest in Calm. This river will run right outside the river where the low city is, all the people that live outside the Great Wall. The people who aren't allowed into the merchant city will, they drink from that river. They wash their clothes in that river every day.
Okay, question.
Go.
What if we summon our tower and stick all of the gold in there that we can pilfer, because we don't have to carry it with us then. We can collect as much as we can and take that as our winnings, and then the Prince of Coin and everyone else could get whatever else. But if we're already at...
We have the bag of holding, too.
If we're already at
Was
close
that
to
not...
capacity... Yeah, but how much can that hold? I'm talking
There
about
is
like
a
some of the
capacity,
bigger
yeah.
pieces. We might actually be able to take like boulder sized chunks, which might not fit in the bag, and just stick them in the tower?
in the
Oh,
tower.
Hoppy.
Actually,
Toss
pull
it.
up and look. The bag caps out at 500 pounds. That's 5,000 coins for those who are curious, or the equivalent thereof.
How much does the tower hold?
I mean, it's a giant tower as much. It's holding those 2 giant scales right now, plus all of the teeth.
I guess the question is, how much time do we want to spend here? I think that some of
Ooh,
the
that's
questions
right. We're
the
also
city
on a time
is-
crunch.
Yeah. I think Hoppy could probably cut up the body and try and get to the gold.
We can put the head in the tower too.
Yeah. Or I could wear it as a bling bling.
bling,
Hoppy
add
hasn't
it to
gotten
your
any
watch.
bling recently. Yeah. Add it to my Flava Flav medallion.
Okay. How long does it take us to take the airship back to the city? Is our plan to stay here and proceed on foot, or is our plan to accompany the people back to the city? Because if our plan is to move forward on foot or on our camels,
I would think.
Remember, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. If I could have just one quick sec, just to remind people of geography. If my finger is calm, you guys want to be over here for the Wandering Oasis, and we have gone all the way back past calm to the river. So
Okay.
even if you just like taking them back to the city takes
is
you
on
half
our
of
way.
right, it's on your way and half
Okay.
the distance back to where you were trying to go in the first
So
place.
we will be definitely taking the airship. We shouldn't spend more than a half a day here harvesting gold. And
Right,
then we'll probably have our long rest on the ship, dropping people
We
off
might be
and
able
then
to.
continuing.
Maybe they'll let us take the airship to where we need to be as part of our payment. We'll get us
Maybe
there
we can
faster.
buy the airship
Or maybe we can buy the airship.
with the dead body. We say we'll just leave the body as is, but
We've taken what we want, and then the rest is yours.
Uh-huh. The rest is yours.
Or the rest is
However,
the lower cities.
Yes. However, we get the airship.
I do think we could probably move more than 500 pounds of gold in if we're gonna do a short rest. What is that? Or like through 2 or 3 hours?
Short rest is 1 hour.
Let me give you one other bit of information.
Okay.
Whilst down there, you investigate the head of the Titan Kepra and discover that it has like dehydrated and formed into it looks like a bit of polished jewelry,
Ooh.
not unlike this.
Flava Flav bling.
It's hard, tink 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 to the touch, and it doesn't seem alive. If it is alive, it seems dormant and or in hibernation. But like Amit the Devourer, you know that these things aren't ever really killed so much as you just, create a period of dormancy.
It's in stasis.
How big or heavy is this?
This jeweled scarab is about the size of Hoppy's hand, so like larger than a normal human's hand. So, I don't know, maybe 10 inches long.
Wait, are we to assume that this is the creature and it will be rebirthed from it? Because if so, let's put it in the prison.
It is entirely possible that is the case. You don't know the time frame, the timeline along which it will be reborn. It took Amit, 3,600 years to be reborn.
I think we should ask. Sorry.
Jump cutting a little bit to the ship and back. She does agree that this is likely its chrysalis stage. This is where it will lay dormant while it regains its power, waiting to renew the cycle. It is, like the beasts of chaos all are, like an integral force of nature. It likely can't ever be destroyed, but the cool thing about you having this now is you can imprison it, you can control it, you can contain it, or at the very least, when it rises, you'll know exactly where to find it.
Yep.
Or turn it into a necklace. a very big necklace.
I mean, we'll know exactly where it's gonna be when it gets rebirthed,
you know,
as long as it doesn't
You
attach
know?
itself to Hoppy.
Flava Flav necklace. I'm just
Laying
gonna
the
go
seeds
Mr.
for
T
next
on this one.
campaign. We have to find the tube of Hoppy the Collector of Beasts,
There you go.
or has been foretold.
That would be amazing. I love that. Okay. So, are we gonna summon the tower and shove a bunch of gold in there, or are we just going to pocket what we can and then peace out?
I think it's worth trading the airship for what's left, and then we don't have to waste our time.
Okay.
If
Are we-
the king will take that deal.
maybe we spend like 1 or 2 hours to I don't know, what do you guys think? Should do we spend a little bit of time and
I am
Well,
broke
I
and
know-
I want gold for my own character, so if we're not going to harvest a bunch, then I'll just make sure that I grab some as Oni.
I say John, how is there somebody here we can bargain with for this ship?
The king's son is present. First and foremost, he wants to get the survivors back to calm, like quickly, regardless of whatever's going to happen with the ship or the harvesting. He tells you that the ship is at your disposal to use for the next, day or two, courtesy of the king, because you've done Calm a great service. If you want to ride back and have an audience with the king, he's happy to arrange that. If you want to stay here and farm, he's happy to take the citizens back to Calm and then return either by himself or with, people who can negotiate on the king's behalf if you're serious about pursuing this course. Also, Draco might even have the ability to just prepare a sending or message spell. I don't know that he has one prepared now, but I think if we took a break, he could probably make that happen. So the answer is yes and no. Like, we have many ways to do it, but
Yeah. So why don't we stay and gather gold while he drops everybody off in town and brings somebody back, and we'll tell him that we want to buy the airship.
Well, if Amon and Sari want to travel with
Yeah.
him, then they can make sure to bring the ship back and they can barter on our behalf.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I'd like to get some gold too. I mean, so if we send
I figure
Sari,
We'll do a group pot.
Yeah,
Just- okay.
We'll split it evenly.
okay, then I'll me and Sari will go with the ship to bargain
How
with the king, and
how long does he estimate the trip will take?
by air with favorable winds, probably between 3 and 4 hours round trip. It's not far straight as the crow flies if you don't have to slog through sand. Maybe an hour and a half there and 2 hours back.
How much gold can we harvest in that time?
That's going to be entirely skill based.
Okay.
oh
Let's.
gosh,
I'd like to start harvesting the pile, and if we end up with more than the 500 pounds, well, no, we already have a bunch of stuff in the bag, so I don't know how many pounds of things we're already holding in there. But let's see how many pounds we can harvest, and if we harvest more than we can fit in our own personal bags and in the bag of holding, then we'll summon the tower.
Okay. Sorry, Amon, citizens, everyone else on the airship, back to calm.
Mm-hmm.
Hoppy, Oni, Draco, Renan, stay here harvesting in the desert.
Yep.
Just so that I make sure I understand correctly, I'm not assuming anything. No short rest, no long rest is happening. You guys are going straight from bleeding to death to harvesting gold.
I
Or
need
you little murder hobos.
can
I
take a
need
short
at
rest.
least a short rest.
No, we don't
Well,
need
no.
to. We don't need to. We
Well,
I'm
have
going
a
for a
Draco.
ride.
We have a Draco. Go cast the spells
who can
to heal up a
us?
little bit.
I thought you
Okay.
said we were doing video game rules where when you level up, you get your stuff back.
You get your hit points back.
Oh,
but
okay. So the only thing we're missing is our spells.
Right, or
Like-
class features or whatever else would normally come back on short or long rests. I just know that you guys spent basically everything, I think, on Kepra.
Yeah, I think I would rather start harvesting now and then take a short
Yeah.
rest before they get back. Because as soon as people realize that gold is starting to flow down the river, we're going to have company. So the faster we collect what we are taking, the better off we'll be,
Yeah.
and then we can rest and get some stuff back and do a long rest on the ship once we fly over the city.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. I don't. I've got 2 rages still, so I'm good as long as I'm not at 6 hit points.
I don't have plans, but like if we ended up in a random encounter,
Just
I'd
in
want there
case.
to be like,
Yeah.
and it hits Megan for 4 and she dies. Well, no, we took a short, and I wanted the.
But I'm much harder to hit now.
That's true. All right. Let's do the gold first because I think you guys are most excited about that, and that will probably potentially inform negotiations. Whilst you are using the exactly correct tools, no doubt, and not definitely swords and battle axes to chip away at the gold.
Clear.
I'd like, unless anybody
Knuckles of
has,
knocking.
unless anybody has a different skill or some other kind of
I-
class-based feature or
I
spell
do
to
have a
utilize,
crowbar and a hammer.
I'd like you guys to give me athletics checks. That's just representative of you being able to use the tools that you have to separate gold from corpse, lift them into a pile or bag of holding or whatever.
Draco
I have
is
some-
athletic.
Better than that? That's cool. Let me hear it.
I have Knuckles of Knocking, which allows me to turn into a siege engine, which allows me to punch things and like
You break
I
it into
assume that
pieces,
means like
and we will
Yeah.
scoop up the pieces.
yeah.
But let's have so Oni, you will always make that athletics check with advantage, I think, because of superior athlete, and
Then I will roll it
Hoppy,
again.
I'll let you have advantage too using the knuckles as you're just sort of bulldozing the corpse.
How about
20
Renan
will-
doesn't get it?
20 will do.
Brennan does not have advantage. No.
Okay, so she's
She's
11.
getting the
Renan's
small
10.
stuff, like the coin size and smaller.
There you go. Oh, I liked her other one better. 11. It's better than 8.
1, 2, 3.
But Draco's 17. He's quite athletic,
Hmm.
and you see his
that
modifier
Beautiful
is
plus
0.
Yeah. So you're saying we should grade on a scale?
What I'm saying is, when gold's involved, he's focused.
He is
and very
yes.
athletic.
very goal oriented.
And that might somewhat diminish like Renan and Hoppy's rolls though, because they didn't roll great but have huge modifiers. All right. Sorry, let me finish counting and then look at my chart. All right, this is going to come down to a roll. Your skills have determined a raw value of. Sorry, no. 3d4. Sorry. I'm confusing myself on my own table, and your stream of consciousness is not great this morning. As a result of your diligent and hard work, I need whoever is going to be representative of the team to roll 3 4-sided die, and you will harvest that many hundreds of pounds of gold.
Hoppy has the highest athletics roll. He should do it.
3d4.
Yep.
Yeah, but you guys know my luck with d4s, right?
Here comes the 3.
Let's see
Here
it.
comes the 3.
Hey! Summon
That's
the
pretty
building.
good.
We can't do anything with 800 pounds of gold.
I can kill
You have successfully harvested from this corpse 800 pounds of gold in different, sizes, shapes, and qualities, but like just gold by weight is valuable, so you just focused on the largest chunks. This more than exceeds the bag of holdings capacity by a significant margin, although I think if Hoppy and Oni both split the remainder, I don't think either of you even go to heavy capacity. So that can easily be stored without the use of the tower.
So how much does that
So
equate
yeah,
to?
If you were to take it to a money changer, or if you were going to smelt it yourselves, the value of 800 pounds of gold is 8,000 gold.
Okay. So
Ka-ching!
we're gonna do Amon, while he and Sari are there negotiating for the airship, are also going to get our payment for killing the creature and returning the citizens. So we have that coming to the group pot. We could do just 1,000 per person from this collection and put the other 2,000 into the group pot as well. So that's 8,000 that we can reinvest in the grotto or buy things or do whatever, plus 1,000 gold each. What do you guys think?
Yes, that sounds solid to me. I could use 1,000 gold.
So we did 6,000 so that we were getting gold for Sari also, but Sari's money goes in the pot, right? It's either five.
Do you want to wait until the negotiations are finished before you spend money you don't have yet?
Yes, of course, of course. All right, so we have 8,000 gold. Hoppy's carrying a bunch.
150.
150 pounds. Okay, I will put 150 pounds.
All right. You guys sweating, toiling well into the evening. Sun goes down. The ship reappears on the horizon, coming to you with the answer of jump cut backwards in time to Sari and Amon arriving over comm. The city looks small from that high, and the airship takes you to the King of Coins tower. So you're sort of at the highest point in this giant spire-based city. There's a branching landing dock where it is going to tether, and waiting for you is like the same entourage that you dealt with before. They ask, of course, if you've had great success in dealing with the threat.
We have indeed had great success.
You're not there, Hoppy.
You're not there. Silly goose.
Sorry, I'm figuring out how much storage I have.
It's starting to spend your money.
Amon definitely tells him the most heroic version of the tale, highlighting his own great successes. His son verifies that everything was in fact the way that it was told. He is thrilled and is prepared to, he uses the finger chimes to summon forth the treasurer, who has bagged a giant satchel of gold ready to go, and tells you that he knows you guys were on a timetable, and he thanks you for your service and hopes that in the future, if there's ever a terrible world-ending catastrophe, he might call on you again.
We'll be around.
Yeah. And ask if there's anything else.
We'd like to purchase your airship.
He's taken aback. The Jewel of Calm, my most favored possession? Why?
We like it. It gets us places fast.
I also like it.
You don't have two? I feel like you're a man who is wealthy enough to be able to afford two. I'm surprised.
He looks at his two advisors, who nod at him like they all understand a rule, and that rule is that technically everything is for sale. Being the king of commerce, the king of coin, he does acknowledge that that's true. What would you offer me? Suppose if the offer is enticing enough, I might accept it.
We're happy to leave you with all of our holdings that are left in the ground by this great beast that we've slain and spent so much time and effort in saving your community from. We're happy to leave you with all that you can mine, and we'll lay no claim of our own other than what we can carry.
He asks for the exact, or as exact as you can be, dimensions of the creature.
I've already described it in pretty exact detail.
In chunks and
He like relays those figures to Taina, who has a slate, and she's like performing calculations, and in very short order, like whispers to him an aside, and he smiles ear to ear and asks, "How much of it do you think you've kept? How much of it do you think has washed away?"
I
My
couldn't tell
son
you.
tells
I'm
me it's
here.
running down the river.
You're a man of great resources. I imagine that the amount that can be obtained from what is left is only a matter of resources, of which you have many.
He looks over at the slate that Taina did the calculations on and asks, "No, I think maybe I just need you to make a persuasion roll, Amon."
And
Uh-oh. I'm scared.
yeah, I'm the wrong person for that. Absolutely the wrong person for that.
Good thing you got the inspiration token.
2 nat ones. What?
Dude,
Rolled a 5.
Wait, your
Yeah,
persuasion's negative 1?
I'll
did we
use my
send him?
inspiration.
Why did
I'll
we
use my
send him? It's negative 1. I didn't know you could have negative persuasion. Holy cow.
I didn't
He's a-
take my mushrooms before this,
He's a
so.
very honest individual.
Ugh.
He does not tell lies.
And he's pretty blunt about it too, apparently.
Uh-huh. He's very matter
You got a blunt?
You explain the situation without candy coating it, which is both good and bad. Good in the sense that this guy knows that he can trust your word, bad in the sense that it maybe doesn't sweeten the pot quite as much as he had hoped. He tells you that he would consider parting with the airship on 3 conditions. The first of those conditions is that the personal modifications and identifications on the vessel have to be removed. He doesn't want like his name and or reputation tarnished by whatever you do or don't do with the airship. So the royal accoutrement, the flag, the 2 ballista that are gold inlaid with his house sigil, all have to come off. You're free to do whatever you want with it after you own it, but you can't have like his customized stuff that people would easily be able to say, "Oh, that guy." The second is that you reduce your reward from 6,000 to 3,000 to offset what he thinks is the difference in cost of what he's going to lose trying to harvest the gold that's left by Kepra's corpse. And the third stipulation is that should you ever no longer want the airship, that he gets the first right of refusal to trade back for it or to repurchase it.
Deal.
make sure it comes with consultants.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry, my sister just reminded me that we need some help flying this thing. If you can supply us with some staff, just enough to help us navigate and control this, or educate us, then you have a deal.
He tells you that he didn't think you were the kind of people who agreed with keeping slaves.
Oh, we're going to pay them handsomely for what they do, but we need people who are educated in this craft.
Amon, no perception roll is required. You're very astute, even if you're not persuasive. There were 2 people on the ship that were flying the ship. The first is an older, middle-aged, weathered sky captain, a guy who's obviously was maybe even involved in construction of it and knows the ins and outs of the ship. Very terse, very old, very set in his ways. And the other person was the king's son, who now is sitting behind him on the throne, but he's grinning ear to ear, like fear of actually moving, but like basically jumping up and down, pick me, pick me, pick me. Those seem, honestly, from your limited experience, the two best candidates. Those are the only two people you've ever seen operate the skyship. And the King of Coin now asks you, who would you want to fly this ship? And their value to me might affect our final cost.
I wouldn't want to take anything from you that you can't go without.
So I think it's good.
But we also, our group also tries to give back where we can. So if being a part of this band would be beneficial to any particular member of your community, then we would gladly take them and apprentice them in our adventures at no additional charge.
At no cost to you.
I love that. Very well done. It's a learning opportunity.
But let me be frank with you, sir. If you want your son to sit here and watch you do your business day in and day out without gaining any experience of his own, that may be his life. If you want him to go out into the world and make his own place, send him with us and see what he's made of.
He doesn't even need to think much about it. He tells his son, "This is why I sent you to the streets, to learn all that the city had to offer. This presents you an opportunity to learn all that the world has to offer. If one day you are to sit here as I do, you should learn everything there is to know." And like the kid doesn't even wait, he just runs to your side. I'm on like so excited to finally be like on an actual adventure and maybe out from underneath the shadow of his father.
What's your name, kid?
The father interrupts and says that for his own safety and for the continuity of the Kingdom of Calm, he must not use that name ever again and should take a new name, lest people use that relationship against him.
Ooh, kid gets to make his own name.
What do you want your name to be?
He looks like up at you and sorry, like, I don't know, oh my god, like he's never in his wildest dreams considered how to pick a name. He's looking to both of you for help. Sorry here can be an amalgamation of any of you guys as players. If you think you have a good recommendation for this sprightly thief of a child that's almost shadowed Renan and been quite clever so far.
Why not just call him Shadow then?
He's not a puppy.
No, but it could be a nickname. Until he has a name
Call
of
him-
his own.
His name's Shad, bro.
Like it. It's ultimately up to him, and he doesn't have to decide right now. He could also decide.
That's what I was
on
gonna
our
say.
journey.
Yeah, he doesn't have to decide now. If you are inspired by anything on our journey, you can tell us your name. Until then, we'll just call you Shadow.
Right now he's going with Awesomus Tiberius Golden God the Fourth.
Frankenstein.
Right.
From
Like,
Big Daddy.
Biggest dickus.
I was gonna
we'll
suggest
work
Dave
something.
after Mathis's booger, but
Just Dave.
He says, "Be gone from this hall now, boy." That shall be his default name until he comes up with one or you guys christen him with something. He shall be called Boy. No longer son of the King of Coin until he returns. You have accepted 3,000 gold instead of the 6,000 gold reward, so your net total for this adventure is 11,000.
We're rich.
It is a lot of money, plus an airship.
That's a lot. Plus a freaking airship.
Good job,
Amazing!
Amon. Although
Amon,
I think we could have got a little bit more out of him.
the ship returns with the boy at the prow. It gently lands, kissing the sand, and you guys are able to load up on it. It has
Hell
been
yeah.
stripped of all of the royal red and gold paraphernalia. The 2 ballista at its prow have been removed, but otherwise it's still in excellent condition.
We're gonna have to decorate it for Alea's flame.
That doesn't mean lighting it on fire, Draco.
No,
Ah!
no.
Flame, flame!
Flame.
Oh, I can do flame seed from the air now, though, huh? Flame seed, yeah.
All right. You guys are back here. Yes, 11,000 gold, essentially wealthier. Some of it in coin, some of it in chunk.
Chunk.
The world is basically your oyster now that you have a literal flying vessel. Where to?
Well, let's
We
talk to
gotta-
Sari and see where we're going.
Yeah, go to the traveling village, right? Traveling city.
Wandering Oasis?
That's the one.
Copy that. I like just the the Mad Libs of it. All right. Then you guys head off, heading east, away from. You'll pass Overcom again, which aerially you can really see the giant like interlying circles that surround the spire, built on the hill. Fly well past that, out into the desert wastes again. As we end the first night now, it's about midnight. Everybody's tucking in, going to bed. Oni, why don't you roll a 20-sided die for me?
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
We were going low, right?
Hopefully not that low.
In the
Scrape.
flying ship, not ideal.
And we got attacked by a dragon, and the airship is dead. Good job, guys.
We had it for 10 minutes.
Going to bed. Nothing terribly exciting happens. You guys can now tick the long rest boxes. You'll wake up, dawn the next morning. Still, gently coasting along, hundreds of feet above the ground. From this vantage, it hopefully will be quite easy to spot, a massive oasis here in the desert, looking for reflection from water or lush green vegetation. It shouldn't be hard to see. Whilst we are traveling over the desert, either let's appoint like a lookout, or if you guys would rather, we could do like just communal roll, and I'll take the average.
I can
Lookout's
do
fine.
lookout.
John, just so you
If it's
know, I am overweight, so I'm going to leave the 150 pounds of gold in the ship.
Okay.
Hopefully there's a
probably also-
market at the Wandering Oasis that we can convert this to gold and send some back to Draco's Grotto. Just do a wire transfer. I'm sure there's a Western Union.
It would be in the west. Amon, you remember that once previously you were this far in the west. This is where the desert becomes very stony and rocky, with huge arches and abutments growing up out of the desert everywhere.
But
Butts.
Butts. Touch the butt.
Because we're adults.
The boy has stoked the fire to heat the balloon to cause us to rise just higher in the air. Better to get a little more altitude in case any of this stuff is higher than it seems, just to put us out of any harm's way. It makes it harder to make out fine detail on the ground, the sand of the desert floor itself. But from here, at the base of a series of very large, very tall, massive mesas that are dotted with these green ferns that grow everywhere, you see what looks like a small blanket and like sun tent, like a sun canopy has been set out with an assortment of items laid out, some of which are like almost painfully catching the early morning light and blinding you because of the directionality of how this blanket is arrayed. And for a moment, you can't tell whether you're being signaled or it's just incidental light reflection. But as you approach, you can see an enormous lizard scurry down the walls of one of these green covered mesas and curl up on the blanket next to a man who's smoking from a hookah, and he just waves at the ship.
That's my dog.
The boy looks to you. Is this a thing you are concerned about? Do you want to investigate this, or does he just fly past it?
Everyone, guys,
I'd say fly past. He just
do we want to go talk with a giant lizard dude in the
Can
desert?
we just
That
holler
seems-
down and say, "Are you in need of assistance?" and see if he responds.
Lowing down and dropping as low as he can safely do in an area where there's like giant, chimneys of stone everywhere. Oni, make a performance check to attempt to do your bellowing voice that carries.
Do I get to do it with advantage because I'm proficient in it?
No, that just means you get to add your proficiency bonus to it.
Okay. Ooh. I'm not very performative.
No, but that's perfect. A 10 is great. You project your voice quite well in, off of the cold desert air still because it's just sun up. It has that very loud projective quality to it. And he takes a long smoke from the hookah pipe and blows a ring of smoke, and that ring of smoke seems to travel very, very quickly towards you. Like the directionality of it is against the wind and travels at a 45-degree angle straight up towards the airship. And as it arrives near the deck, it dissipates, and a soft voice just says, "No help, but I could certainly use some customers. Interested in any of my wares?"
I don't want to get robbed by a weird desert person, so I'm okay stopping, not stopping if you guys are okay with not stopping.
This guy sounds like he could be.
Ask him what he has.
Okay.
Does he have the good stuff?
What do you got?
Could he help us with the dragon? Do you have anything for the dragon?
Or the dragon?
Yeah.
Oh,
dragon.
our
I see.
dragon
I
egg.
see. Yeah. He doesn't. When you ask him if he's got the good stuff, his answer is absolutely he does. All of his wares are the finest in the region,
Of course they are.
which he almost chuckles like you could hear the chuckle in the sending message, as you are out in the middle of nowhere.
Not
But
much
he
of a
introduces
claim.
himself as Rafik, and he calls himself a desert trader. It's hard to enunciate the D as opposed to a T.
I mean, maybe we're gonna make a new friend and we're gonna route him to Draco's Grotto. I'm happy to rappel down
Yeah.
and check out what
Yeah,
he's got. but
Oni, why don't you and I?
yeah, I don't think.
Yeah,
we
why don't
should
you and I go check it out?
I think someone should stand by.
Yeah.
We'll send our two best negotiators.
Yeah, I don't have good persuasion.
Shut up, sorry.
Who has good persuasion? I mean,
I
I'm very
do
have
now.
good
strong,
perception.
so I could just beat him up and take his things.
I have
Murder
I won't,
hobos.
but I could.
Does Renan have good persuasion?
No,
I
but
do.
she could
I'll go
steal
down.
things.
Her persuasion is a +1.
She could go down and try to steal some things.
Let's just go talk to him.
Yeah.
We don't need to persuade him of anything.
All right, but we're rappelling down. The ship is not landing. I do not want him to have access to the ship. I will carry Renan on my back. Because I'm not sure she can make that athletics. Nice.
As
Did
those
you seriously
two,
just put that together right now?
it's a random encounter that I've had in the pocket for a while.
Nice.
I haven't rolled it.
We'll be buying that lizard also.
The campaign where we take other people's cool stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, neat. That's a griffin that you have a lance built into? I'll have that. My entire
We're
identity. I'm
rich
the Griffin
now.
Knight. Not anymore. Now you're just guy. Introduces himself as Rafik and tells you that his friend here is his loyal companion, bodyguard, and best friend, Scooter.
Aw.
Scooter!
Rafik and Scooter. I love them.
Every time we meet a new person, I'm gonna talk to the boy and be like, do you like that name? Do you want to be called
I love
do you want to be
that.
called Scooter?
That's excellent. I'll introduce myself, Amon, and Shadow.
Shadow Scooter? Rafik, the Shadow Scooter. Just trying them on. He asks if you are friend or foe. He said that he's been ambushed here in the desert before, but warns you while he is a man who is willing to trade with you in good faith, Scooter is less kind to people who will take things by force. You can see that Scooter's face is scarred from battle, and he looks like a tough customer.
I assure you, we have no interest in anything that we don't come by honorably.
Well, excellent. Then welcome to the Desert Bazaar.
Draco,
He
roll to steal.
he invites you into the shade of his tent and out on this sort of like, canvasy bedroll. He's got an assortment of items. If it's all right with you guys, I will just display them all.
Show
Some
us
will
your
have
goods. Woo!
descriptions, and some you'll probably have to ask me about. But
Nice.
the upper ones are like my most favorite fan created items of all time.
Of all time.
The Ring of Mimic. That sounds amazing.
We just came into a lot of money, so I'm not telling him that.
Good. Today's price multiplier is 10. He also is, a trader, so if you don't want to spend gold, you can always offer him things that have, potential equivalent value. There's no price tags on things.
Angry eyes. That's amazing.
Angry at? Oh.
Oh, Marco, you need this. When this eyeliner is applied around your eyes, you have advantage on intimidation checks against creatures that can see you. That's awesome.
Is it a one-time use or is it reusable?
It takes 1 minute to apply it. It holds enough product for 1d8 plus 2 applications.
Yeah, I think I already get intimidation or
That's funny.
Yeah.
What is color spray?
You can probably look it up in the journal. If you can't, I'm happy, or in the compendium. If not, I'm happy to read it to you.
Sprays color.
Yeah, and then someone has to come clean it up.
Nice.
I think it's a blinding effect, if memory serves.
That ring of regeneration is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, the Ring of Regeneration is probably a good thing.
And then,
I think Renan needs the Ring of the Mimic.
at the bottom of the graphic here are a bunch of spell components. He's got an arcane agapanthus, a fire flower, a lightning lotus, a collection of oils and unctuous liquids, and a flawless diamond.
These are just things that are needed for higher level spells, or
But yes, and the flowers, we've encountered at least one of them before. They're alternative material components that enhance the effectiveness of a spell.
Mm.
We've had a fire flower before.
That's right.
How much for the Ring of Regeneration?
Are you down there, Happy?
Yeah.
He asks you in what currency would we be trading?
Pounds of gold.
Pounds of gold, good sir.
You can also have them all.
He'll gladly take them all. Turning the ring over in his hand tells you this is a very impressive, very powerful piece. Been in his collection a long time. It's gonna be hard to see it go. But let me think about it. In terms of pounds of
You
gold.
don't even use it. You jerk. You're just trying to play this up.
Goodness, I guess 40 pounds of gold would seem fair to me.
Oh god damn.
400 gold. That's
Pounds.
4,000
Yeah.
gold.
4,000 gold.
oh. 40 pounds of gold.
Oh, you're right. I did that backwards. You're right, Mark. 400 pounds of gold. I won't do pounds, and I'll just do coins.
Okay, 4,000.
That-
Okay.
The price tag is 4,000 gold at his initial offering.
I'll give you a quarter of that. I have this very fancy box. Will you do anything, or will you give us anything for this very fancy box?
Which very fancy box are you offering him?
The beautiful stained glass box that we picked up from 2 months ago.
He is interested in that, and it might be an interesting display piece, especially for his spell components. He says he can do the pretty box and 2,200 gold.
How long does it take to attune to the ring?
1 hour of meditation.
Does it even make sense to
How much gold did you already have on your person? If we did 1,000 gold a piece from the pot, that puts 6,000 in the group gold.
Yeah. So my thought here is I tend to take a lot of damage, and this isn't really, good for in battle, but during a short rest, that's an extra 66 that I'm getting every or in a short rest.
Mhm.
The main
So
part
that-
I'm talking about is the lose a body part. You know,
I mean, yeah, that's the other thing that gives us a
Detachable penis.
right? You can detach it whatever you need to.
Nope.
that is a huge benefit too. So I think that it would be good to have just for I can wear it, but it would be good to have in case anybody has grievous wound.
Well, they got to be attuned to it.
How much gold?
But they would attune within an hour or a couple hours, as long as they're not going to die.
How much gold
we
do
can-
you need to make up the difference to the 2,200? If you just got 1,000, what else? How much did you have?
I only had 109.
109.
So, yeah, I have the collapsible greatsword that I could trade. I've got a maul that I could trade. I have Ramhorn from Ginnoberg, and I don't know what that is. China bug.
I don't know what that is either. Why don't you apply anything else that you have to it, and then we'll just take it out of the 6,000 that went into the group pot. But if you could get it down to less like 1,000.
Wheel
or
and
less.
deal the collapsible sword. It makes that impressive to him. Don't just, yeah, I got a sword. Impress him.
Ask him. Can I try and persuade him to give me a discount? Now that I have persuade, I have lots of stuff that I can trade with him, and I'll show him the maul and the collapsible greatsword and the beautiful stained glass box. And do you know what the ram horns are, John?
Say what they were to me again.
Ram horn from Ginobug.
Oh,
I think you wanted to
yes,
make
I do.
something.
I do know what that is. Oh, maybe I don't know. Because I thought you put those in the power.
Oh, maybe they just got added to my.
Were they the hooks from the sandworm?
Probably. That would make sense. I'll take them out of my inventory. I have a note that I have 3 of them. So I've got the maul. I've got the collapsible greatsword. I have this beautiful stained glass box. Would you take all of that for an 1,800 gold?
Make a persuasion.
Sorry, didn't have advantage.
He says he would do all of that and 1,900 gold.
Wow.
Okay. And will he take the pounds of gold?
Yeah, out here, he
Gold
doesn't
is
care.
gold. So
Gold is gold.
we'll have to take 900 from the group pot. So
800. I've got 109, so
well,
I'll just
but
do.
then you're broke.
Yeah, well, I'll have. If I take 100, then I'll pay 1,100,
Okay.
800 from joint, and then we'll have. We'll be able to. We're only taking 800 from joint. I'll have 9 gold left.
Okay. So we have 5,200 in the group pot. Was there anything in here that you wanted, Amon or Draco?
No, I'm good. I was gonna ask him if he wanted to share a pipe as
Nice.
a fellow desert dweller,
Absolutely.
and I'll share some of my tobacco with him.
Ooh, what a treat. You guys can smoke out while the rest of the party decides there's anything they want to trade for.
I'm good.
Trading. I'll take the. John, I'm not going to track the gold. It's on the ship now. I'm just going to delete that out of my inventory.
Okay. I do feel not compelled, but I feel like a lot of the spell components that are on his bedroll are cool, but not required. There is perhaps a spell component item on here that we've discussed wanting to find at some point in the future for a spell that could be considered quite valuable or useful, but that currently is uncastable without a flawless diamond.
I don't have any spells, so I don't know who needs that, but if we need it, let's buy it.
And I was trying to think if I had any need for.
Is that Zach?
How much for the flawless diamond?
He tells you that he has both diamond dust and this diamond here. He reckons that it's worth at least 400 gold, but he doesn't think he could let it go for less than 350.
Dude.
You know what spell this is for, Draco?
I don't. I really don't. I gotta go through my stuff to take a look. But
look at Revivify.
Oh yeah, that was That was a helpful spell.
That's as long as the creatures died within the last minute, you can actually resurrect them. But the material cost is a diamond worth at least 300 gold.
Well, then the group pot should buy it. because
Yeah.
the group will benefit from it.
Yep.
350 gold you got, sir. Take that from the group pot.
We had the discussion months ago when he first got the spell that that's one of the coolest spells we have for saving a dead party member, and noted that we needed a diamond, and Zach went, oh shit, yeah, we got to get a diamond. And then Michelle resonated it the next session, and then we never talked about it again.
Sounds right.
Now we have the diamond.
Sounds exactly right.
And the group pot shrunk down to 4850 plus whatever else was already in it.
And Mark got smoked last session. I was like, oh shit, we're gonna have the Revivify discussion today.
Not quite.
And I'm
We were
gonna-
good.
And I'm gonna have to be the bad guy that's like, technically you don't have a diamond worth 300 gold.
Technically,
do
you
now.
guys forgot about that.
Alright.
Alright, if we are done here, then you can say goodbye to Rafik and to Scooter, who loves to get little head scritches,
Bye.
and ascend back up onto your airship like Ballers and Soldier 4.
Yeah.
Excuse me, it was a little burpy. Flying onwards in the direction that Sari is sort of captaining this, because she's the one who most closely saw the... Sorry, I was confused by the ping thing.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to add a ring of regeneration to my to my tools, so I don't forget about it.
The rest of this day's worth of travel goes off without a hitch. You're welcome to sleep again. Because we're in the air, you guys tell me whether or not you think a watch cycle is required.
We did it on the other barge.
The sand barge.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little different
Yeah,
though
let's
than
just
this.
take shifts. Just
I mean,
to do it.
we'll be bored anyway. It's something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take shifts. I'll take the fourth watch.
Okay.
I'll take the regular during the day watch because I'll get my view to sleep.
I'll take first watch. If Hoppy wants to take, or if Draco takes first, I'll take second. Hoppy can take third. Amon will take fourth.
Works
That's
for me.
fine.
Okay.
I need to
Freaking Renton slacking off
attune
again.
I need to attune the ring, so
That'll give you two
that was
watches
why I
worth of
was
time.
gonna-
Perfect.
Yeah.
Whilst attuning to the ring, you learn
It was
that
cursed.
the reason it was
It
so
was
deeply
cursed.
discounted is because it's not a ring for your finger.
Oh,
extra
no.
slot.
And it doesn't go small enough.
Oh no.
As you put it on Hoppy and meditate, you can feel power. Like you can feel the essence of life sort of flowing through you. And if you look down, the wooden band that makes up this ring sort of grows into your finger. You can see almost microscopic roots of green life-giving energy flow into your ring finger and down the back of your hand into your arm until it merges with like the natural blood veins in your arm. Once the attunement process is done, that veiny effect is no longer visible, but you feel like it has literally grown into a part of you. And you feel unkillable.
Oh, should we test it out?
That is Hoppy.
I
I don't know how to get rid of the attack. But
You probably just have the Weapon Master and Rage boxes ticked, if you unticked those.
it's not important. We can continue. I don't know.
By about noonish, you start to notice that there are significant changes to the landscape here. It starts to look much more green than any part of this desert should look. And that's when Amon on the horizon can see a massive expanse of lush green vegetation, at the center of which it's miles and miles thick, but the center of which you can almost make out the silver tip of a large pyramidal structure. But surrounding the entirety of it is a massive vortex of sand and wind. A huge sandstorm seems to be circling this place, and Rafik the Shadow Scooter tells you that it's dangerous to bring the vessel much closer than you are now. He thinks maybe he could take it to the outskirts of where the trees begin to grow, but any closer to that storm, and the storm is likely to take the balloon and shred it. If you wish to preserve it and the safety of the people on board, namely Scooter, he doesn't think we should get much closer than we are now. He says he can put it down safely here.
They joined us on the ship.
Yeah, he's our
No, this is the boy.
the boy.
Oh, I see. I see.
He's
I see.
going.
Yes. Today he's Rafik the Shadow Scooter.
Oh, I see. Rafik the Shadow Scooter. I like it.
Yeah,
Alright,
have him
yeah.
bring
Yeah,
him down
let it
here.
down.
There are no camels on the airship.
Where did we
What
leave
did we
our
do with our
camels?
camels?
We kind of left him behind.
Our-
So you left them where Kepra erupted, where the sand mirror was planted in the dirt, and when he erupted and the thing collapsed, I imagine they scattered or waited for their beloved owners to come back and rescue them. But you guys did
And
not.
now they get to
We
live
did not.
happily ever after in the desert. Okay,
With the
Orgy for
vultures.
food.
so we'll have to walk.
What do you want to do? Sari is adamant about wanting to come, so I
Mhm,
assume you're going to allow her to come.
of
Yes.
course.
What do you want to do with Scooter? Does he stay here with the airship? Does
Yeah,
he
he's
come with you? Does he
Do we
stay
send him-
on the ground? Does he fly around the storm?
He should stay up so that he can't get boarded. I don't want anyone to take the ship, and I don't want him to be at risk. So he should try to fly it someplace where he can be partially concealed.
but where he can keep an eye on for whenever we got to send a message,
Yep.
which I can probably shoot like some fire in the air
Do
or
we have
some
our
sort.
sending stones? Can we leave one with him?
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's
I'm fairly certain you guys recovered the one from the
Yeah.
consultants.
let's leave
Yeah.
him with a sending stone so
For
that we
once.
can call him back.
Do we want to send him to Jacob or Draco's Grotto?
How far away?
I
is
say just
that?
circle the storm.
That's a good ways away. That's all the way across the Atairu, about as far away from the river as you are now.
Okay.
So, if we're 400 miles to the east, that's another 400 miles to the west, putting him about 800 miles away from you.
Yeah, let's keep him close for now. We can always message him and send him along later if we find that the city moves. But maybe we leave him with clear directions so that he knows how to get to it in case we end up needing to send him there.
I think Drew is going to hang out on the ship.
'Kay.
Um,
He can be his backup.
Then the other consideration is the egg. Does it come with you? Does it stay on the ship?
it is in. Do we have anybody at Draco's Grotto that would know how to Well, we should definitely heat up the egg. But do we have anybody at Draco's Grotto who would?
Again, that's too far away. That's
know
800
how to-
miles away.
Well, I'm thinking if we disappear and he has to go back to the Draco's Grotto,
He can take the egg with him.
if nobody knows how to deal with the egg there, then it's better if it's with us. But otherwise, I'd rather go with the ship.
I think keep it with us only because we don't want something breathing fire birthing itself on the airship.
True.
We have Geffen, but we don't have the menagerie built yet, so probably best
We
to
need
just
to
keep it
build
with
the
us.
menagerie.
Yeah.
That's on my top priority list for the grotto.
My must.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hoppy's
so
retiring.
egg stays with you then.
Egg stays with us. Yeah. Do we need to heat it?
It hasn't needed conventional heating since it became that leathery sack. If you want to try more Draco magic, that's entirely up to you guys. I'm not telling you that.
Don't do
We
that on the
should
ship.
do that.
Don't do that on the
We
ship.
should do that, not on the ship,
Uh-huh.
and we should do it when we don't have another priority. Because
Yep.
if I have to spend a week training a dragon, I'm gonna need to read some books, and Hoppy's not a very good reader, and
I just can't
Gonna
be
watch-
mad right now.
What's that movie?
Not a good time for me.
so.
Right.
So yeah, let's keep it with us, and I think that's our next thing after dealing with the this is I want to figure out how to deal with the egg.
All right. The boy ascends to the highest height he's comfortable with near the storm, so you guys can get a rough idea of the landscape. You can see. I'll show you a picture. It's not exact, but so you get a rough idea. The air, you can see a massive pyramid surrounded by lakes and pools of water all around. Lush green gardens grow everywhere, including up along the pyramid's walls. And there are, hundreds of thousands of acres of lush jungle-like foliage that grow up all around it. It becomes, like thicker redwood forest on the outer edge of the perimeter, and then it's sort of that scrub, sandy bits to the extreme edge where the sandstorm is blazing. There doesn't seem to be like a shorter point to enter or exit from the aerial surveillance that the boy has given you. There are entrances to that anywhere where there's like a small indent into the, circumference of this new jungle oasis. There's an area to the north and one to the south.
Head from the south, I say.
And you're walking uphill.
Can
Um,
we get delivered at Broughton Hall?
What?
I just want to share this. That CSU Long Beach, and that picture reminds me totally.
Nice. You have a pyramid? Or cool.
Oh, he logged out of comms.
Yeah. I want to just ask Sari what she thinks the best move is here, because she seems to be the one with the plan.
He agrees that the sandstorm keeps us grounded, so we're going to have to enter the jungle on foot. She has no other knowledge than the temple at its center is where we need to be. So the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. She thinks if there's any place where we can gain an advantage footage-wise, we should take it. But we don't know enough about the area to surmise anything. She recommends a coin flip. But otherwise, can't offer any additional insight.
Head from the south.
Flip a coin.
Sorry,
Yay, you're
Discord.
back. We're flipping a coin to see which way we go. Hold on, I'll roll a 1d2. Is that a thing?
It is.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
It could even be like one of the dies you can pick from.
Is it north
not
or south?
4 is the smallest.
Heads is north, tails is south.
1.
South it is.
We didn't decide
We
if
didn't
one
set a
was
term.
north or
Yeah.
heads or tails. Probably heads is 1.
I was saying heads, yeah.
Okay.
To the north.
You say goodbye to the boy, whose name presently is Rafik the Shadow Scooter. He takes the airship away from you, going to a safe place where he'll stay as best as he can out of sight and out of harm until he's recalled by the sending stone you left with him. Last chance for anything you need from the ship. Otherwise, we are trekking into the unknown.
Trek
Since
away.
we've spent some money, Hoppy, are you leaving anything? I'm taking everything with Oni just in case there's stuff that we want to buy.
So I can carry about 120 more pounds. So I can carry 120 pounds of gold if we need it. But we should have 500 pounds of gold in the carrying case.
Okay.
Well, if there's any chance, if there's any chance that we're going to disappear and pop up somewhere else, and our sky captain is going to have to go back to Draco's grotto, he can take the gold that we have for the grotto.
Yeah, I think we send a couple thousand gold back to the grotto, whatever we can.
Okay. Should we take
only
some
in the event of our disappearance?
Since the bag of holding would technically be at capacity, should we take some out of the bag of holding and leave it safely on the ship?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
We had 11,000. We used up like 12.
We had 4850. We have 4850 left in the group pot after each of us have our own 1,000 plus what you spent.
Okay. Send 4,000 into
okay.
The grotto.
4,000 will be on the ship.
Yeah, and that way you and I don't have to be weighed down, and we have 100 pounds or so available.
Perfect.
He's gonna be the wealthiest little princeling ever. Like, as soon as you guys are just in the brush, he's like, deuces. 6 large in an airship, motherfuckers. and
who's the king of coin now, bitches?
Exactly.
All right. Walking in on foot then. Once you guys enter the jungle terrain, let's have whoever's going to be at the van of our little 6-person walk here give me a survival check. Whoever's going to be leading and cutting through
usually
the brush.
Me.
Make a survival check to maintain a heading.
Oh, so that wasn't it with advantage, but the first roll was correct.
First roll is good. You sort of fix a point in your mind, looking for local geographic landmarks. You set us on a course, and we begin walking. In very short order, the terrain becomes almost unfamiliar to you. There are very few places on Geb that are this deeply forested, this lush, this green. Even along the banks of the Atairu, this is unheard of. The underbrush is so thick and so full and so vibrant. It's the world is almost alien to you. Amon, as the leader of this vanguard of people, you, after about 30 minutes of trekking from the light sandy underbrush areas deep into what is now, by all accounts, a forest, you can't help feeling like you're being watched. It's that subconscious, predatory response from your lizard brain that just tells you something is stalking you. Probably not worth scaring the others with just now, but you are on a heightened sense of awareness. The trees here, you swear...
Sorry, I had to unmute. I want to have Hoppy take over as the van, and I want to move to the rear.
Okay.
And I want to slowly kind of fall behind and keep my eyes open without losing sight of everyone.
Okay. Hoppy at the front, you continue to follow the line that Amon set you on, using your sword or your glaive, rather, when necessary, to clear a path. You also, Hoppy, begin to feel this sense of, like, sort of being watched. And every time you, like, it feels like every so often as you progress further into this jungle, like, you get this sense of increased density. It feels like the jungle itself is, like, closing around you. It's possible that just as you move into the interior, that it literally is just denser, but you really get that cloistered feeling of, like, it's swallowing you whole. Amon, having held way back, I'd like you to make a perception roll as you watch the rest of the team advance into the density of the jungle.
$22.
You give them a good ways to get ahead of you, lingering back, pretending to tie your shoe or whatever it is that you obfuscate your slow down with. They get several paces, maybe a full turn ahead of you, and from your perspective, the jungle is moving. You can see the brambles that crawl along the floor just start to grow in behind them, almost clearing the path that Hoppy just cut. And you see several large trees just sort of lumber back and forth, like moving in towards them, almost like they're being surrounded. The forest itself seems alive and mobile.
I'm still not going to tell anyone. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. Unless anyone's in immediate danger, I'm just going to be observing.
Okay. In relatively short order, the jungle is trying to basically grow in the path that Hoppy just cut. If it closes, you'll be trapped on like the backside of it. Do you want to catch up with them enough that you're in the same like bubble of jungle that they are?
Yeah, I do not want to be separated from them.
Doing a little bit of catch up quickly, jumping over vines as they regrow, you do rejoin the party. Who know you guys find yourselves in a small clearing that the jungle parted, but you see no easy way out. There's hoppy, dense underbrush in every direction around you, and as you take a step forward with your glaive to begin hacking through some of the smaller trees and thicker underbrush, one of the trees speaks to you and tells you, "Intruder, you shall pass no further." And a giant figure begins to rip out of the bark, growing limbs and legs as the tree animates into a living creature.
Is it already moving?
It's alive.
I was going to see if I could use Knuckles of Knocking to knock it
Hang
down.
on. I'm going to use Speak with Plants. Not that I need to because it's already talking.
Always nice to speak to people in their language, I suppose. Let me throw you all up here real quick. I feel like some of those tokens aren't right. None of those tokens are right. Here's what we're going to do. We'll just copy paste from something else. I don't know why it does that.
That is an excellent tree person.
Yes, I agree.
Sorry, I gotta go back to the... I gotta figure out why the stupid thing doesn't update. You shouldn't... I shouldn't have to update every time you guys level up, but like it doesn't... The journal doesn't show your leveled up tokens. Ever. And like for some reason it only shows your level 5 tokens. And I am looking at the clock too. Is before we start this tree person dialogue, is it now a good time for a quick couple of minutes for drink and bathroom?
I would
Sure.
like to stretch my legs.
Okay, let's take a quick 3-4 minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll come back to Treebeard.
Howdy, howdy.
And we're back.
Guess
And we
who's
lost the
back?
Hoppy.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Oh, I see John. Maybe it's my end. I'll refresh her.
I'm nowhere near your end.
Hey there, I see John now. And now I gotta get on my Windows back because I hit refresh.
Mm-hmm. What are we snacking?
Mathis got me some circus animal cookies.
Nice.
He also got me a 2-foot tall Squishmallow axolotl because apparently I needed a Squishmallow axolotl.
Okay.
Squishmallow party,
Mm-hmm.
and they got me a Hawaiian shirt and something else. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't important. But, yeah,
Gotta love circus animal cookies.
they are my favorite. And yeah, now I'm. We got a cake from 85 Degrees, and I just want to share this. So they do a really weird thing, and I've told you guys about 85 Degrees. It's the place that like you go in and you get the tongs, and you get a tray, and you
Mm-hmm.
pull the thing. Yeah. So when they make a cake, they make it very flat. It's like that thick. It's like 2 millimeters thick, and then they put a very very thin layer of cream on it, and then they roll it.
Mm-hmm.
So your cake is not like flat; it's a spiral.
Roll. It's like a Swiss roll.
It's a jelly roll.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
it's
with frosting.
so thin that like the 8-inch thing was like 20
Layers.
rolls. Yeah, 20
Layers.
layers. It was just so weird. I'm fine, but it was.
Have you ever heard of a crepe cake? That's what that sounds like to me.
No, I've never heard of a crepe cake.
Crepe cakes is literally just layers of crepe and filling that becomes tall enough to be like a cake that you can slice.
Oh, weird.
I don't need any cake that's only being baked at 85 degrees though.
Well, it's 85 degrees C, so it's
Celsius.
250 degrees. I'll see if I can. See if I can find a picture of one.
All right. Do we have Caleb back?
I'm here. Yeah.
Excellent.
Just chilling.
The tree man has manifest. You immediately step forward with speak with plants cast on yourself. He tells you intruders, trespassers shall not pass this grove, and you say,
Look, man. We're just chilling. We're no threat. We're not trespassing. We were invited here. We mean you no harm.
externally you guys hear Amon speaking, but it sounds like bird vocalizations. It sounds like, songbird songs tweeting in the wind. And the the tree man just says, "Hey, dude, that's our word. You can't use that."
I've got tree friends, man. It's cool.
Ow.
Asks, regardless of your intentions, his only mission, the elders of Kaer Sur created him to make certain that no one would trespass into this sacred oasis. Turn back now, or you risk confrontation with mighty Acacia.
Who's Acacia? I know it's a fancy tree. Is that you?
He does appear to be an acacia tree.
What's your name, my friend?
You know what helps with that? I cast
Fire.
infestation on him.
Oh no.
Termites infestation.
Okay. I have to make a con save, is that right?
Yep. 17.
Bro, we're just out here. We're just talking. Trying to give my friend lice.
Yes. He is infested with termites that begin to painfully nip and bite all over him. And in a deep voice, "Oh, damn you! What have you done?" And begins just like flailing around. He takes 6 points of poison damage. And when does he have to do the force movement?
I didn't read that part. I think just immediately. It's just an immediate random.
Let me clear this. Let's throw up initiative.
Bleh.
And I'll roll a 6-sider.
Sorry, guys. He wasn't going to let us through, and I didn't
You just
think
have
it
to be
was.
your chaotic self.
You know. Wow, I got a 19. Holy crap! That's awesome. I never get awesome scores like that. And Renan's initiative.
Well, that's not right. What? Oh no, that is right.
Oh, there's more of these guys. I just thought there was the one. My bad, guys.
Hoppy, a second acacia tree springs to life in defense of his brethren, the guardian of this particular grove. But you react first. You see that one of them is just fiend scratching everywhere as he stumbles westward a bit. Other one unaffected. They seem bent on defending themselves. What do you do?
Can't hear you, Mark.
That's because I muted myself because the cube just got home.
Yeah.
Okay. They
I'm
are
gonna-
going to.
No, no!
All right. I can knock down a tree. One of them is on the ground.
No, they are both upright, standing almost 20 feet tall. But one of them is like coke fiend scratching all over the place as he is infested with crabs.
That's this guy, right?
It is that guy. I'll put a little bugs on him.
Okay.
And we don't see health bars on him, just FYI, if you wanted us to.
I can fell a tree.
With your axe? You got an axe?
I'm going
Little
to axe
battle
it.
axe?
I actually no longer have a battle axe. I only have a hand axe. So I will axe it a question with my glaive.
So you're gonna hand job him?
I'm going to glaive it a question. I glaive it a chance.
The first one hits for 27. The second one misses.
I can also do horns, but it doesn't get the great weapon mastery. So just 9.
You notice as you jab your horns into its thick bark, the piercing effect of your horn seems to be almost entirely nullified by the density of his tree bark.
Figured.
It is Draco's turn now.
Okay, since they're trees, right? Trees don't like a certain thing, from what I understand.
Crabs and shitty little druids.
Yes.
Okay.
Very, 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 very much so. So I am going to go ahead and cast Scorching Ray at the one I infested because he's going to be pissed, so I might as well make him extra pissed. So here's 1, here's 2, and 3, and then yeah, that's it for that one.
The same one you infested, yeah.
Yep.
1 in 3
18.
hit. I see 12
Yeah.
damage.
12 damage. Okay.
It does burn away the wooden superstructure of his form aggressively. The fire damage seems to be quite effective. Now he's cursing at you in the plant language, which instead of birdsong sounds now like screeching crows, and only Amon can hear them, and he's blushing.
Do they understand common or?
Well, they were speaking
he initially
it.
started speaking to you in common, so
Yeah.
a reasonable assumption would be that he understands it. It is Amon's turn.
All right. I'm going to actively translate for Draco the things
Ow,
that the
ow,
trees are
ow,
saying to him
ow, ow, motherfucker, ow, ow.
Something about gonna give your mom splinters.
on the inside.
There's a
And
particular
I'm just gonna
Entish word for inside splinters that doesn't quite translate, but it's gross and vulgar. You get the gist. 13 misses. 25 hits.
this is on the infested tree as well.
Okay. The arrow barely penetrates his bark, but the hunter's mark definitely does some additional damage. He seems to be resistant, it seems, to piercing attacks. It is Renan's turn.
Renan is going to roll her eyes to be like, fucking Draco,
Mm-hmm.
and cast
Goddamn patriarchy.
Witch's Bolt at the infested dude.
Witch bolt?
That bolt.
Oh.
Rutro.
Bitch bolt.
Sorry, yeah, I got to put it there. And then,
Oh no.
she just blew us all up.
92.
Renan, you're terrible, Renan. Renan, you're horrible at this stuff.
Come on, Renan, get your shit together.
Your spell backfires, creating an explosion and causing you to fall and
Oh
bump
my
your
God.
head. You fall prone, take 3d6 bludgeoning damage, and are potentially knocked unconscious for 1 minute unless you succeed at a Constitution saving throw. So I'm going to roll 3d6 if you roll a con saving throw.
Okay.
Oh, no, you did. You take 10 damage, and I need a con save from Renan.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Alright, Renan is out cold. She tries Witch Bolt. There's this purple feedback in her hands, and it blows up right in her face. Sort of spell shrapnel cuts her shoulders, face, and chest, and she just collapses on the ground. Little Tweety birds wrapping around the corona of her head.
I can at least soak 8 of that damage, so she doesn't complain about it.
Okay. Takes only 2 points of bludgeoning damage, but is still out cold.
Pink. Renan, you're terrible at spell casting. Holy crap. She's never going to want me to play her character again.
It does not. I bet not. Oni, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm going to run forward into melee with this one who is not distracted by the infestation.
Mhm.
And shout, "We don't want to fight you. We simply want to make our way to the oasis."
A funny way of showing it.
He remarks something along the lines of, "I wouldn't want to fight me either," and tries to stomp on you. It seems that once you have attacked a member of his tree tribe, it's on.
If you insist.
26 slashing damage is good. And then a whoopsie.
Incredible.
You miss the attack and gaze upon the chaos of battle, causing you to falter in your confidence. You have disadvantage on the next attack roll you make against any target.
'Kay.
It is the tree ent's turn. Alright, I think I know what I'm going to do. The infected one will move to just there, and he, in a deep bellowing, like,
Just like your mom.
calls for aid and says, "Defend me, brother."
He's
And
gonna
the
fall on
tree
Draco.
directly behind Draco almost seems to come alive, and a treant emerges from that space.
Oh shit!
There, and it will attempt to throttle the shit out of you, making 2 slam attacks. The first, both hit, I think, and I see 32 bludgeoning.
Yo!
This one here will make. Are you raging, Hoppy?
Yeah.
1 attack against Hoppy, and then a disadvantaged attack against Oni. Hoppy first.
He has advantage against me.
24 hits, and I see 19 damage, which you make 9. And then disadvantage against Oni. 20 still hits, I think.
He is successful by 1.
17 points of bludgeoning.
I'm gonna wall of steel.
Okay.
No points. Plus, I have 2 temporary hit points until the end of my next turn.
It is Hoppy's turn at the start of round 2.
What about sorry?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, help, harm, heal.
Help! Heal!
Harm Draco.
She just crosses her arms and watches the tree throttle him. I can give Draco a defensive spell as help. I can throw him one of her 4 heals for the day as heal, or she can Eldritch Blast him as harm.
How about the defensive spell?
Draco, just like with Renan last session, she moves in, touches you, and then moves away. But as she touches you, her touch is icy cold, and you can see coalescing frost begin to freeze, like the outermost layer of your epidermis. You can see your breath, like all of the steam vents in your skin just close up.
Are you sure that didn't hurt me?
A barrier of ice forms all over the surface of your skin. You have 15 temporary hit points because of the Armor of Agathis spell.
Okay. Plus 15?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. That. Okay, now it's Hoppy's turn.
All right,
Yep.
give you a little shield bar.
Can I move? As long as I don't move out of his threatened range, he doesn't get an attack of opportunity, right?
That is correct.
So I was thinking that I'd set up here and threaten both of them.
Okay.
But I'm gonna focus on blue first.
Uh, 13 misses. 17 hits.
3 damage.
23. Draco, I think it's your turn now.
Okay, let's see. I will do. I'm going to cast Fire Shield on myself.
Okay.
And then I'm going to back away to about right there. Try to get away from mean grumpy dude. It came out of nowhere.
Oh,
will-
that came out of nowhere, completely
He
unprovoked.
clearly did.
They attacked me for no reason.
I did not touch that guy. He attacked me.
He will attempt to slam you as you threatened. No disadvantage. So just an 18. Thank goodness for
Aw.
that. Does an 18 hit you?
Well, what's with the Fire Shield? Do I get a little something extra with that?
So the attacker will
Yeah.
take 2d8 fire damage.
Right. So
So if you want to roll that, also the armor of Agathis that she applied to you
it's now gone.
shatters as he hits it, but it harms him for 15 points of frost damage. But the shield is consumed in the process.
That works for me. That was a smart move by me by moving out of the way.
Mm-hmm. If you want to roll 2d8 for me,
Sure.
subtract
Oh,
23
And I
damage.
can soak 8 of your damage.
15. Oh, he got 30 damage. If I attack on me, bitch. I didn't even touch him. And he got 30 damage.
And Draco, you take only 7 bludgeoning, not 15, as Hoppy soaked 8 of it with his.
Wait, I don't take any of that. That was my Fire Shield.
Oh, you're right.
None of that was me. That was all on him.
Oh, in that case, I can't soak it. I'm sorry.
Yep. It is Amon's turn.
I didn't get injured at all on that one. I got away scot-free. 'Cause I'm a
Alright,
real
I'm
guy.
gonna
Oh, you're in my way. I have to go back. Oh, you okay? Never mind.
and
That
then
hits.
You know, your fire arrows would have done better.
your mom would have done better.
Oh.
And that's all I got.
There seems to be drama going on behind me. I'm gonna mute and go see if I can help.
Godspeed.
It is Renan's turn. She
You waking
remains
up?
unconscious.
Okay.
1 minute until someone rouses her, or that 10 rounds expires. Oni, it's your turn.
Wake up, Brennan.
I'm gonna try again. We don't want to kill you. We just want to pass. Will you end this folly?
The dude that's trying to step on you. None shall pass. We will lay down arms if you retreat and withdraw, but none will enter the grove.
Oh,
We
I know exactly what I'm going to do.
proceed to the oasis. You can't stop us. So you choose death. First one's on disadvantage. Then I get my normal attacks. Ah! Let's just see what that one does before I roll anything else.
First one was a miss. The second one is a crit for 55. You was it. So sorry. Your senses heighten and you become aware of threats around the battlefield. You are able to use the dodge action after your attack for free.
Perfect.
So 18 points of damage is dealt.
Yep.
20 also hits for 9.
And
that's
I
your
dodge.
turn. And you dodge. Somersault.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. The Ent's turn. This guy will continue to pursue Draco since he has a murder boner for the druid.
I did nothing to you, dude. Go away.
It seems like he
We don't
was
see-
only brought to life to stomp on you.
I know, it's terrible. Holy crap!
I see both hits for 36 points of bludgeoning.
That's uncool.
Now I can soak 3d6. You want me to roll again, or you want to take the 8?
Is he within 30 feet, or is it 60 feet?
Could be.
Uh-oh.
30
Just
feet.
missed. No, just missed it. Okay,
Oh well. No more Draco.
I'm still alive. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you got 17 hit points. You're totally fine.
I'm totally fine.
After Amon tried to flaming smite this one, he will use both of his attacks against Amon. However, they are made at disadvantage because of Hoppy's spirits. 22 and 19. I think they both hit, yeah? For 37. And then,
I believe
I
so.
can soak some of that
I think you've already used your. Oh no, you did use.
No,
your-
I haven't,
Yep.
because I wasn't able to.
Hey, where is
And
our
again.
combat music for the
It's
forest?
29.
Is there?
Do you not hear it?
No,
No.
I hear it.
Pretty quiet.
I don't
Let me
hear any
reset it.
music.
So how much damage am I taking?
29
29 total.
was 37, but Mark soaked 8 of it.
Yep.
How about that?
That's very low, but yes, I'm starting to
So
hear it.
low.
I think.
Now,
there you go.
now I can hear it. Okay, thanks.
And then the other one will attack Oni, but again, both attacks are at disadvantage.
Nope.
Nice. Spirit Guardians doing their job. Round 3 starts with Hoppy.
I mean, I don't have that many choices to make, so I'll hit it till it's dead.
Blue or red?
Blue. Is it dead?
It is not.
Then I'll hit it again. Is it dead?
It is dead.
Then I'll hit red. Is it dead?
No, but I like your decision tree. I like how in both cases it's probably just hit it again. Is it dead? No, hit again. Is it dead? Yes. Are there other enemies present? No, hit again. All right, Draco, your turn as you play the running man.
Okay. Now, this is going to be pretty cool. Now, a funky question I got for you, John.
Go. I love funky questions.
It's kind of funky. You know, it's like a legitimate question I got for you. It's kind of weird, think of it. But, actually, we kind of screwed up last round, but it's alright. We already passed it. Since I had my fire shield on, he probably got burnt a little bit on that. But anyway, that's not what I was going to ask you. So I got this cool little skill called
Start fights, yeah.
start fights. I'm okay at that. But where's that? Oh, here you go. Are tree ints considered trees? Or are they?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Makes this super weird.
Alright. I'm gonna dive into him and come out the other one.
Move yourself anywhere within 5 feet. Or 500 feet.
I like how you're.
This is where everyone else is. So that this way we'll kind of get attention off of me, and that guy can go, what the fuck?
We're in a forest. You could literally come out of a tree that is not in combat with us. Then you won't get
True.
to
You
buy
also
anything.
come out on my side so that I can protect you.
That's a good idea. I mean, yeah, there you go.
Like, as a druid, I have to imagine that there's like a moment where you experience something bordering on the profane as you dive into a living tree and then transport yourself via the subconscious network of life that connects all living things, only to like bloop out this other tree ant's butthole while you flee for your life. Something in that has to feel like a violation of the natural order, but you do you.
Oh, my
You
other
reverse Thanos to that
about
tree.
this is
Now, also,
My
with
other
my
question
my
about
flaming
this is,
shield, would he get ignited with the flame shield on or no?
I have to reread. I thought it was when something touches you.
Right.
I
I think you
mean-
may be right. I extra touched him though.
I was
It's
gonna
like-
say, is it possible for him to have not touched you?
The rules
Hits
as
with
written,
melee.
whenever a creature within 5 feet of you hits you with a melee attack, the shield erupts with flame.
Okay, so he didn't hit me that round, but he hit me before. Just saying, he knocked the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
We should have rolled damage. I might take some off. I'm gonna just guess at about how much.
We can't see the health bar for the one to the north.
Yeah, you summoned.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Draco does the Thanos butthole teleport
Yep.
trick,
Whoop.
and it's now a monster. One of them is covered in lice. The other one's screaming about having been sexually violated. And Draco's over there. I'm a protector of the natural world.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't want it to come to this.
I gave one of them jungle aids.
it really did.
Go away.
Uh,
Ew. Thanks,
All right.
Megan. I needed to see that.
You're welcome.
First Kopesh, good. Second Kopesh, good. And I have to make a con saving throw. Ooh, 13, not good enough, I don't think. I take 11 more points of fire damage, which becomes 15.
And wait, what are those spots? What are those big spots?
Those are treants.
You want to get the tree?
Yeah.
not
We
originally,
do.
but they
I
didn't let us
know.
go.
Renan's turn. Again, she remains unconscious.
I think she's safer unconscious, no?
Mayhaps.
Or yeah.
Oni, your turn.
Okay. I'm going to come up to this one and say, again, we don't want to fight you. Will you end this folly?
If you withdraw beyond the line, he sort of like points to this section of the oh, you can't see I'm pinging, to this section of the area that's like his no-go zone. If you withdraw beyond that line, they'll stand down.
We must get to the oasis. We cannot.
Then your fate is decided.
As is yours.
18 hits. 15 also hits. Oh no, sorry, 15 misses. So only 11 damage so far. 22 hits for 14, leaving him at 5 hit points.
So close. You know what? Action surge.
Action surge.
That's 2 golden blades.
It is
Golden blade 1.
dead.
I'm gonna. I can't move very far, so I can go. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4.
as you move away from him, you watch as this tree sort of like strains, like it's having a hard time moving, and its face looks almost terrified as it stops being alive and just becomes a static acacia tree. Now its feet grow deep roots into the ground and it just becomes a rigid tree.
Oh, so it's like one and done.
Hold both of my swords up and say, "We didn't want to kill you. We just want to go to the oasis. Please let us pass." And then huff.
From the area of the underbrush where you were just fighting them, you can see two exceedingly small green sprout saplings of acacia trees in extremely high-pitched voices. "Men shall pass! You must fight us to enter the area! Turn back now!"
Can we keep him? I want a Groot.
Am I taller than they are?
Significantly.
Okay.
These sproutlings have just grown out of the dirt and they're, an inch or two tall.
I'm gonna bend down closer to them and say, "If you would only guide us through the oasis, we will no longer be in your forest."
Once
Yeah,
I
I'll be
get
down with
feet,
this
I'm
cat.
gonna follow you!
You can follow us.
I'm gonna throw you out!
Would you like to join the Hoppy's harem?
Not sure what that entails. They become inanimate trees again as a defensive measure.
There's the cake thing.
Nice. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, so they are inanimate objects. We can continue moving.
Mhm.
I'm going to wake up Brennan
Oh, good. I thought maybe we were gonna leave her here.
and get her upright. Make sure she's got all of her stuff. We should probably get some heals or something on Draco and keep moving.
Draco deserves it. He can heal himself.
He is the one that got us into this trouble.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Hard to feel bad for you.
But I mean, I've been wanting a good excuse to use infestation. Like
No,
I've had it for a good while.
Excellent
I mean,
use of it.
I thought so.
Yeah, starting a war because you wanted to use a spell.
Well, I didn't. I could have done plant growth. That didn't seem like it would have worked very well.
Kim Jong Un, this button is so cool. I've always wanted to press it. I just
Right?
today
Just-
decided to push it.
I'm not even sure if it works.
Like cleaning lady polish it. Now it's like tempting.
Exactly.
All right. It is 11:30. I can't imagine us getting through the next segment in 30 minutes. Are we okay calling it a little bit on the earlier side, or what do you guys want to do? Is there anything else we can do that's not another combat scene?
I mean, we can't answer
I'll just-
that. Only you can answer that.
So, well, I meant like, is there anything like? Do we have any gear questions? One
Hoppy
thing
can
that I wanted
attune.
to do in the near future was look at an audit of character sheets, because I think there
Yeah.
might be at least one of you that has either items you're not using or are possibly attuned to more than 3 items.
Oh.
You are only allowed to be attuned to 3 magical items. Now there are magic items that don't require attunement, and that's fine. But RAW rules as written is that a character can only be attuned to 3 magical items.
I didn't realize that was the thing.
So I'm not saying I know that for sure. I'm not saying like, I know for sure that Zach's a cheater and I'm calling him out. I'm just saying
I am not.
at some point we should probably look at that, because
Mhm.
I have handed out multiple attunement items in the last couple of like levels, and I'm just thinking, oh well, if they already had 2, that means somebody's at 4 for sure, because
Well, see, I just have my purification thing. I think that's the only thing I have attuned. That and then the crown of scorching ray. Oh, was that attunement? Oh, we don't remember.
the magic items in the magic item handout, or if they're
Okay.
from the actual game, will tell you.
All right.
Your stat card will tell you whether or not it requires attunement. Excuse me.
Knuckles of Knocking, Sacred Scarab. So I and I don't know about Bast's favor. But I also have the Ring of Regeneration, so that's 3 plus Bast's favor. If that's
I do not believe so.
Okay.
I think that's
And-
basically just mirrored after a luck stone, which is passable.
yeah. Warglaive does not appear to require attunement. Blacklight Torch doesn't, so I'm good.
Okay.
But I'm done. I have no more space.
All right. Well, I think we'll, like I said, what I know is that the next thing that we get into is a bit of trouble, and I think it will take us longer than 26 minutes to get through. So to be
Okay.
respectful for everybody else's time, unless there are any
Yeah.
other questions, I think we just end a little bit on the earlier side today.
Sounds good.
Are we good for next weekend? Number 1.
I
Yes.
believe so.
I
Uh,
may be up there, so it really depends on what shenanigans I get up to. The most important thing is I can't find my laptop charger, so I don't really have a laptop I can play with.
Well, we have an extra computer if we want to do breakfast and you play here.
Yeah, that
option is
could be it.
not yet.
Sweet. Yeah, we should be good for next weekend.
Yay!
Okay. There is a world where if we get into the deep of something next session, it's hard to know planning wise where exactly we're going to land, because sometimes you guys decide
That's
that
fine.
shopping should take an hour, or that we want to talk to the bug that speaks and spend 90 minutes doing that versus the 20 minutes I thought. There's the possibility for the next session potentially running long. Is there a world where we could maybe play until 12:30, or does anybody have a hard stop next week and I can try to figure out how to trim?
That should be good on my end.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah,